Have you ever seen something strange that you can't explain? For centuries, there have been many reports of strange lights spotted in various railroad areas during late evening hours. What are these lights, and are they somehow connected? Let's take a closer look as we delve into tonight's episode of the Faith and Mystery Files. To begin, we'll look into the first of several mysterious railroad lights, the St. Louis Light. This well-known legend begins with a true story that happened in the 1920s in Saskatchewan, Canada. In the winter of the early 1920s, there was a railroad conductor or engineer that stepped out of a train he was managing to remove some debris off the tracks. However, soon after, his train or another that passed by malfunctioned and caused him to lose his head. Since the incident, numerous people over the years in and around Saskatchewan have seen a mysterious light or orb that is red and white. It strangely appears in the evening hours, around the time the railroad engineer died. Next we have the Gurdon Lights. The account of the Gurdon Lights began after 1931. In the state of Arkansas, in the year 1931, there was an argument between Missouri Pacific Railroad foreman William McLean and railroad employee Lewis McBride. McLean reportedly blamed McBride for a railroad accident that had happened weeks earlier. It was stated that McLean thought that McBride made a mistake that caused the train to derail. It was also stated that McBride may have been looking to gain more work hours, but was denied because of this. McBride was furious at the accusation and struck McLean on the head with a shovel. McBride also repeatedly hit McLean with either a spike maul or a hammer. McBride was later sentenced to the electric chair. Soon after his death, unusual lights started to appear near the railroad tracks that McBride had once worked on. These lights were also officially documented during that time as well. The Gurdon Lights are said to be visible late at night to this day and appear in red, green, orange, white, amber, and blue shades. The lights are also said to be in height as an average person. Now we've come to the Paulding Light. The Paulding Light, located in Michigan, is a famous railroad light that has been seen since the 1960s. Its origins began with a railroad brakeman. The brakeman's train had become stalled. Another train was heading down the tracks. The man ran towards the train in hopes of getting it to stop in order to prevent it from hitting the stalled train cars. However, the second train didn't see the man in time and crushed him on impact. Later that year, in 1966, a group of high school boys were walking along the tracks when they saw a glowing ball of light in the distance. After their initial report, more residents began to investigate. They too reported seeing odd lights in the area where the man had died. The lights are red, white, and green in appearance, many times seen as the shape of a man. The next recorded incident we'll look into is the Suffolk Light. The story began in the 1800s, when a railroad engineer stopped along the railroad tracks in Suffolk, Virginia, to fix an issue with his train. It was a foggy night as the man took his lantern to check out the problem. Once the issue was fixed, he began to make his way back to the cab of the train. That is until he noticed something wrong with the engine. As soon as he jumped up to get a look, he lost his head, as there was a sharp, low-hanging wire that he could not see due to the dense fog. Residents have said that a floating lantern can be seen on foggy nights in the area where the man died. We now come to another popular recorded account of railroad lights, commonly called the Surrency Lights. Originating in Surrency, Georgia in the 1900s, many versions of this legend exist. However, one of the most popular accounts is that of a railroad conductor. Late one evening, a railroad conductor and his team were trying to finish working on a new set of tracks. Due to unexpected issues on an area of the original tracks, the conductor had to make a decision. An oncoming train was quickly approaching the area. The railroad conductor took his lantern and tried to warn the train, yet he was hit head-on and died soon after. Even though there are no longer any tracks in the area, many residents have stated that they've seen a floating lantern in the same vicinity where the conductor tried to warn the train of the danger ahead. The last legend we will look into is the lights and occurrences at the Carlisle station in England. On September 10th, 1847, the Carlisle station first opened its doors to the public, even though construction had not been finished and wouldn't be until the next year. However, people were amazed at the work that had taken place. Over time, the building needed repairs, so in 1879, the railroad station had a crew work on the roof. Yet during repairs, one of the crew members fell off the roof and onto the platform. He died instantly. Soon afterward, several incidences occurred and still do to this day. For about 150 years, passengers and railroad crew members have reported seeing a headless man walking around Platform 8. It's also stated that there has been seen a man pointing to a specific location and moments later, vanishes suddenly. The area where the man fell has had strange and eerie results picked up from ghost hunters that have been at the location as well. And almost every time during these sightings, the lights in several areas throughout the station have been said to flicker on and off repetitively. There are a vast number of true stories that surround many strange lights seen around railroad tracks. However, each story that we've mentioned has points that match or correspond with each other. First, all of these accounts seem to happen as a result of a tragedy. All of them have to do with men who worked in the railroad system. 3 of the men lost their heads, 2 of the men were crushed, and 1 man died because of an argument. Then again, we see that 3 of the stories describe witnesses detailing colorful lights or orbs. 2 of the stories deal with floating lanterns, and 1 story with flickering lights. None of the previously mentioned accounts were seen by just 1 person. Numerous people from different locations and decades have seen the same sightings. Some skeptics claim that a few of the stories can be explained away as car lights from a great distance. Others say that swamp gas is to blame for the sightings that include orb lights. However, none of the areas are located near swamps or marshlands. Additionally, many of these legends begin when cars were not often driven at night, which makes the accounts even more mysterious as to how earlier sightings match with the lights seen today. Could it possibly be something trying to warn others from coming near those areas? In each account, the men were trying to fix problems that occurred. Are several of these stories the same event, with small changes added as they were passed down from each generation? Do the lights really mean nothing, or are they some type of warning? What do you think? Thank you so much for watching this episode of the Faith and Mystery Files. We sincerely appreciate our subscribers as well as the likes, comments, and views we receive. It helps our channel grow. If you would like to watch more of the intriguing true stories in our collection, check out some of our past episodes. We have playlists available as well. Thank you again, and may God bless you.